This is the first semester exam calculator section for Mrs. Blum's first semester exam. Number 1 in this section says, solve the proportion for x. We have 3 over 4 equaling 18 over x. The first thing I'm going to do is draw on my band-aids so that we can fix it. Sorry about that. That means that we have 3 times x equals 4 times 18 because we cross multiply. 3 times x is 3x. Using our calculator, 4 times 18 is 72. From here, we divide both sides by 3 to get x by itself. The 3's cancel, and x is equal to 24. And number 2, it says a bag of potatoes is $3.43. If the bag contains 7.5 pounds of potatoes, how much does 1 pound of potatoes cost? So we need to first set up a proportion where we have cost over pounds equaling cost over pounds. The cost that we know is $3.43. The pounds that we know is 7.5, and that is equal to x dollars over 1 pound. From here, we're going to create our band-aids. We know that 7.5 times x equals 3.43 times 1. That gives us 7.5x equaling 3.43. We divide both sides by 7.5 to get x by itself. Running out of space. My 7.5's cancel. So I'm left with x equals 3.43 divided by 7.5 equals 0.4573, where the 3 repeats. If we're looking for the cost, our cost needs to be in dollars, which means we can only have 2 decimal places. So our cost is equal to $0.46. We get 4.6 instead of 4.5 because if we look at the 5, that's the place we're rounding to. The number behind it is greater than 5, so it bumps up the 5 to a 6 when we round. And number 3, it asks us to write an equation using the constant of proportionality to describe the relationship between students and chaperones. To do that, we're going to take our y value divided by our x value. That will equal k, which is our variable for constant of proportionality. We recommend not using 1 when we do this, but we could use 24 and 2, 36 and 3, 48 and 4, or 60 and 5. I'm going to use 48 and 4. When we divide that, that does in fact equal 12. When we use the 1 here, we can use that as a check. The constant of proportionality is the y value when x equals 1. So you can get it from here, or you can do the math and get it from here. The constant of proportionality is in fact 12. In number 4, we have pounds, we have a price in cents. We have points at 0, 0, 220, 440, 660, 880, and 10, 100. We do not have a x value of 1 as a specific point, so we're going to have to use one of the others. It's y over x equals k. I'm going to use the 4 and 40 point. So my y value is 40, my x value is 4. That will equal k. 40 divided by 4 is 10, so my constant of proportionality is 10. And number 5, dinner on New Year's Eve was $53.92. If tax is 9%, and you leave an 18% tip, what is the total paid? There's several ways to do this, but I'm going to do it all in one equation. So we're going to take the original cost plus the original cost times the tax percentage plus the original cost times the tip percentage, and that will give us the total paid. My original cost is $53.92 plus, in parentheses, $53.92 times my tax percentage. My tax is 9%, but I have to convert that to a decimal by moving the decimal point 2 places to the left to be able to multiply. So that's 0.09 plus the original cost of $53.92 times my tip percentage. My tip percentage is 18%, and I again have to convert that to a decimal by moving my decimal point 2 places to the left. That gives me 0.18, and that will equal my total paid. You can put this into the calculator just as it's written. 53.92 plus opening parentheses. 53.92 times 0.09, closing parentheses, and adding to that parentheses, 53.92 times 0.18, closing your parentheses, and we get a final answer of $68.4784, which we round to $68.48. The same thing applies here. We have to round to the nearest penny, which is this decimal place. The value behind it is greater than 5, so we bump the 7 up to an 8. In number 6, the original cost for an Xbox you wanted is $349. If your grandparents were able to purchase it for $289, what is the discount as a percentage? So we know that our original cost times our discount percent equals the discount amount. We know the original cost was $349. We don't know the discount percentage, so we're going to use that variable X. To find our discount amount, we're going to take the original minus the new. That equals the discount amount. Doing the work to the side, 349 minus 289 gives us $60. So I use my 60 back in my equation, and that's 349x equaling 60. I divide both sides by 349 to get x by itself. And using our calculator, we are able to calculate that x is equal to 0.1719, going out to just 4 decimal places. Converting that to a percentage, you move your decimal point 2 places to the right, which is 17.19% discount. Flipping the page to go to number 7. You earn 30% of the cost of all the wrapping paper that you sell. Over the holidays, you sold $1,392 worth of wrapping paper. How much commission did you earn? To solve this problem, we're going to take the amount sold times the commission amount, which is a percentage, to equal the commission amount. Our amount sold from our problem is 1,392. Our percent commission is 30%. We have to convert that to a decimal by moving the decimal point 2 places to the left. That gives us 0.3 with a ghost 0 if you choose to include it. That will equal our commission amount. Using our calculator, 1,392 times 0.3 is 417.6. We add the 0 to the end because we're working with money, and we need a dollar sign in front. That is your commission amount. Not bad for selling some wrapping paper. And number 8, James invested $400 in a savings account. If he earns 4.5% interest, how long will it take him to double his investment? So, with simple interest, as this problem states, we use the formula I equals PRT. I is equal to the interest earned. P is your principal, which is what you start with. R is your interest rate. And T is your time in years. So over here, if I start with I equals PRT, the interest earned is going to be $400, because if I earn $400 and I start with $400, that will have doubled my amount. So my interest earned and my principal are both $400. My interest rate is 4.5%, which we have to write as a decimal, so we move it 2 places to the left. That's 0.045 times our variable t. I'm going to start by multiplying my principal and my rate. 400 times 0.045. So that's 400 equals 18t. I divide both sides by 18 to get t by itself. My 18s cancel, and t equals 2.2 repeating years. As our final answer. And number 9, it asks us to write an equation to represent this word problem. Avery earns 50 cents for every toy she picks up. Label a variable to represent the total Avery earns and the number of toys picked up. So I'm going to use T for the total earned. And P equals toys picked up. My equation, our total is equal to 0.5 P. And number 10, we're converting to a fraction. We have 48%. 48% is the same as 48 over 100 because percent means per 100. I can simplify that because both of these are even. So I'm going to start by dividing both by 2. That gives me 24 over 50. I can still divide both by 2 because they're both even. 24 divided by 2 is 12. 50 divided by 2 is 25. Because the only factors of 25 are 5 and 5 is not a factor of 12, we know that this is the simplest form of our answer. In number 11, it asks us to convert the decimal 0.8 into a fraction. 0.8 is the same as 8 over 10. These are both even, so we can divide by 2, and that gives us 4/5. 5 is a prime number, which means that it cannot be simplified any further. So our answer would be 4/5. To convert the following to a percentage, the easiest way to do that when you start with a fraction is to convert to a decimal first. 7/8 as a fraction, as a decimal is 0.875. And then we move our decimal point 2 places to the right, which would be 87.5%. In number 13, we're asked to use a proportion to find the missing side length. For this, we use the setup little over big equals little over big. That means we're looking at the little shape compared to the big shape, and we keep our side lengths consistent. So looking at the base of our triangle here, we have 5 over 7.5 equaling 8 over x. I'm going to cross multiply after drawing in my butterfly wings. 7.5 times 8 equaling 5 times x. 7.5 times 8 gives us 60. That equals 5x. I divide both sides by 5 to get x by itself. My 5's here cancel. 60 divided by 5 is 12. So my missing side length is 12 centimeters. And number 14, Clark Griswold earns $13,890 as his bonus this year. If his bonus was $11,575 last year, what is the percent of change in his bonus? So we have a new amount, we have an original amount, and we are looking for the percent of change. Our new amount is $13,890. Our original was $11,575. And we use the setup change over original equals x over 100. We need to find the change between the new and the original by subtracting. Our change is going to be 13,890 minus 11,575. Using our calculator, we find our change to be $2,315. And that goes over our original of $11,575. That equals x over 100. We draw in our band-aids to cross multiply. And we see that 11,575 times x is equal to 2,315 times 100. That gives us 11,575x equaling 231,500. We divide both sides by 11,575 to get x by itself. And we find, using our calculator, that x equals 20. So our percent of change is a 20% increase because he earned more this year than he did last year. And last but not least, number 15. Santa uses a shrink machine to deliver gifts. if his scale is 2 inches to 1 centimeter and his skateboard is originally 31 inches long, how long will it be in Santa's sack? So we're using the scale of 2 inches over 1 centimeter equals 31 inches over x. We draw on our band-aids. That gives us 2 times x equals 1 times 31. 2x equals 31. We divide both sides by 2 to get x by itself. My 2's cancel. I'm left with x equals 15.5 centimeters.